Android and iOS, Nexus 6, the iPhone 6. We're talking about two variations of flagship phones, and it's very important to talk about it that way because these are not just phones that get created one year. We see repetition and we see numerous versions of these same phones. Now that all being said, when we talk about the two phones and how we compare them, I'm going to say that Google has a major advantage with the Nexus 6 for the pure customization that you get with the Android phone, the updates that you're getting from Google as an Android experience, and then also after all of that, if you want to do what you want to do with your phone, you can. When you look at Apple and how Apple controls the experience, I think Apple likes to control the experience because they want to have that experience for their customers and say, you know what, that's an Apple experience. We made it and you're interested in it because we're Apple and we sell you products that you like. I get that because I know the desktop experience is a great experience that Apple has to offer. But when we look at their mobile platform and I think about the things they're doing with it, I'm not impressed with a lot of things with it because I think it lacks quality. I think the hardware for the phone, the iPhone 6 and even the 6 Plus, it's not impressive to me. These are not things I would want to purchase for myself because when holding that phone, if I don't think I'm getting a quality product, whether it be with the platform combined with the hardware, that's not something that I want. I would say go to a store and try out both phones. That's the most important thing you can do. Don't watch a video and say, hey, that person knows what they're talking about because they held both phones and their opinion is the best. It's not like that. You need to go to the store. You need to understand what the phone is all about. Try to learn about it, research it, look at the hardware, look at the platform. And yes, it does matter because when you're using a phone and you notice that it lags or slows down, it's not always the platform. A lot of people like to blame Apple and say, well, iOS sucks. Maybe, just maybe, that they were developing iOS on hardware that couldn't support the platform and how they were developing it. There might have been extra features, extra layers of design on that platform that wasn't performing to the necessary needs and aspects of what users want. Because Android and iOS are top of the mobile game right now. Nobody's going to question that. So of course we're going to compare the two phones and how they're built and how people are experiencing them. And I would also have to say that this whole thing about the iPhone never breaking or never not working, that could never happen. That's not true. So again, we have to talk about quality. And there's also other aspects about the iPhone that people talk about that maybe not factually true also, like the security of the phone. Is it really more secure than Android? Does Android really need virus scanners pre-installed? That's not how Android works. These are pre-installed security features. It's not like you're downloading a virus scanner for Android. You need to use it so you can just make sure your phone works. That's not how it works. Android's a very safe experience and the hardware for the phone, this Nexus 6, is fantastic. And this is another reason why I would tell people to check out the Nexus phones because they're built with quality hardware. Just the same way as Apple looking at an iPhone and telling the manufacturers how they want to manufacture that phone, Google is doing the same thing with their hardware and their manufacturers because they want to have a great experience for their users. So it's very much two top producers of phones right now because of course Apple and Google, everyone knows about them like I said before, and we're talking about which is the better quality. In my personal opinion, I think the Nexus 6 has a much better quality experience than the iPhone. I really do. And the reason I say this is because I own a Nexus 6 and the phone itself, the hardware, is a lot more impressive to me than an iPhone. And even if you can compare cameras and all this other kind of stuff about the phone. Let's talk about how the phone looks, for one, how it works, how the platform is experienced. All these factors you need to take into consideration when you're buying a phone. What would you rather have? A phone that was thin as tinfoil and doesn't have great battery compared to a phone that actually has quality construction to it and has a great battery? That's another thing that you compare the two. With a Nexus phone, you're going to get some great updates, and even with the flagship phones, how they evolve from Google, and this is the Nexus devices, you're going to see how Google actually works on Android. It's a much different experience than you're getting from either like Samsung or HTC because Google is all about developing with Android. They're not giving you any kind of HTC sense or even a TouchWiz. So really, I think you can get a better understanding of what Android's about from a Nexus phone. And that's why I'm saying that the Nexus phone compared to an iPhone is the best comparison because when you talk about all the other Android phones, you're not really getting just Android. You're getting Android with a carrier's point of view and then with the company who makes the phone, their point of view. There's a lot of points of views that are going on with the phone when another company starts getting involved and changing things around with Android for what it's worth. So again, the most important thing I would say is you have to actually look at both phones. And in this video, my opinion is that the Nexus phone is the better phone and a better purchase compared to a phone like the iPhone 6 Plus. And the reason why I'm talking about the Plus is because when you compare both phones, we're talking about phablets here. So anyways, this is the part of the video where you guys get to comment and tell me what you think about either phone and experience. Let me know if you think the iPhone or the Nexus phone is the best mobile experience. And of course, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.